Hey folks, I'm Jack Fossett, and welcome to this demo and review of the Kala Journeyman U-Bass. These things are so cool, and I'm very excited to have my hands on one and be able to do this review for all of you. I've been wanting one of these for a while, and I know that many of you know me as doing a guitar-oriented channel. However, I have demoed similar products to this before, and I do some multi-instrumentalist type work. I record and produce my own music as well as music for other people, and a lot of times that involves playing bass. Now, I do want to take a minute to note that as a guitar player, it's easy to think you can just pick up and play any other stringed instrument because the physicality is the same. I do think it is important to learn how to play the bass and actually play it like a bass as opposed to just a guitar player who plays the bass. Now, I still play it more like a guitar player would play a bass, but I have taken the time to really work on bass playing and all that. Now, I'm not a great bass player by any stretch of the imagination, so don't get me wrong there. But I do just want to say that I respect the difference between being a guitar player and being a bass player. That being said, let me tell you what it is that I love about this and kind of what's fun about it and everything. The obvious thing is that it's small, it looks cool, it's neat, it's a conversation starter, it's a great little instrument. Now, this particular one is mahogany and it has the F-holes, and I think the F-holes are really cool because these can get kind of almost, let's say, pseudo upright bass tones. And other U basses, they actually do make fretless ones, and others have the standard circle sound hole like you'd see on a regular ukulele or an acoustic guitar or whatnot. I love that this one has not only F holes, but they're bound F holes, which I think is really classy looking. It is really obviously quite small. It's a ukulele bass, so it's very comfortable to sit and hold. What's cool about it, though, is it is a bass. It sounds like a bass when you listen to it on recordings or when you listen to it in performances. It functions as a regular bass. And I first became aware of these when actually a guy named Max K, who's a great bass player, who's played bass with me for a long time, he used to bring them out to, we would play blues shows together, and he used to play a very early Kala U bass, and it was just so cool, and it was such a kind of an eye grabber and an attention getter, and again a conversation starter, that here we are, this blues band, and he looks like he's playing this. It almost looks like it's a toy, but it just sounds awesome, and it just sounds like a regular bass. And that was what really first attracted me to these, and I've wanted one ever since. Now, I do want to take a minute and say that this is a sponsored demo. That being said, I reached out to Kala to do this demo because I was interested in reviewing it and interested in using one. So keep that in mind. All these opinions are completely my own. I'm not being paid to say that I like something that I don't. I think these are really fun, and I really wanted to get my hands on one, and so I reached out to them to collaborate about doing a review together. Now again, it's mahogany, it has a beautiful cream binding as well as the cream bound F holes, has a laurel fingerboard, has the UK 500B active pickup in it, and of course you've got your, one of the things that I like is you've got your battery compartment down here where it plugs in. Has a 3-band EQ as well as a built-in tuner. Now the EQ can really shape the tone, and that's what we're going to focus on in the next part of the video. I'm just going to play a bunch of different sounds, kind of, utilizing the, play it a little bassier, play it a little more trebly and bright, a little bit softer, and just kind of show you the versatile range of this instrument and everything. Now, playing it just like this, I mean, it's very fun to just kind of sit and play and do. So as you can see, it's fun, it sounds resonant, it sounds nice, it does not sound cheap by any stretch of the imagination. It is soft, it's not a particularly loud instrument, so it could be really fun to pick up and play with your friends if your friends have a ukulele or an acoustic guitar or something and you're a bass player and you want to kind of play along, but what do you have? You don't necessarily want to plug in a big electric bass. Of course, if you play upright, those are wonderfully charming instruments, but they're quite cumbersome. This is really fun to pick up and play, and you may not really project over everyone. You'll certainly be heard if they're not playing, like, if it's not a big bluegrass band, people will hear you enough. It's a way to jump in and be a part of it, even if you're not crazy loud in doing so. And they're just so convenient and so fun. Also works great if you are producing music, again, because it's small. You can keep it by your production desk. You can plug it right in and make it sound, great, and it'll just sound like a bass when you're recording. Particularly with the EQ here, you can really shape it to how you want it. Now, this one came with the round wound strings. They're also commonly used with the rubber strings. The rubber strings are really fun. I think they kind of, again, I mentioned, shades of upright bass tones. I think the rubber strings really get you more into that realm. They're not quite as bright. They're a little bit slinkier and pluckier. These have more of that kind of bright acoustic bass string sound. These work really well. I think that these strings are probably a little bit more versatile. The rubber ones are just really fun. And at some point, I'll probably try it with the rubber ones and kind of, maybe go back and forth and just see which I like better. When I think of the U-bass, I do think of the rubber strings. However, these strings are really good as well. And again, I suspect they're probably more versatile, even though there's part of me that's just like, but the rubber ones are more fun. So let's get back to some more tones here. Let us know in the comments, what do you think of the Kali U-bass? Do you have one? Do you want to have one? They are very reasonably priced for the quality that they are. Are you like me? Are you a guitar player who also, does home studio and studio work and wants to have kind of a small convenient bass to be able to do some recording work? What do you think of the Kali U-bass? Let us know in the comments. Please stick around for some more tones. I'm Jack Fossett. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.